Hi guys, welcome back to Cheney's TCG store. Today I have another market watch for you. This one won't be super long, but I figure I'd get to the point with some of the cards that I wanted to cover. So first off is long awaited here, Triple Tactics Talent. We've had some price increases in the past. I mean, of course, this card's broken. It's just finally starting to see some play again. I did invest in this card months ago when it was like around $50, and I bought two play sets and it went up towards 70, but I was really looking to offload them more towards 85. And I was expecting them to go towards like 90. But then the play kind of fell off and it went back down towards 50, 55. But now that it's seeing play, it's back up towards 70. I know some of my subscribers also invested into this card. I know Taylor did. I'm not sure if you still have yours or not, or if you sold them off, but yeah. So for the ultra rares, they're 25, 26. Which is definitely the highest I've seen those in a while. Those usually sell around 22, 23. And the secret rares are down to 25 listings. And they quickly go up in price because my listings are on the first page, I believe. So it starts off at 70 for a playset here, quickly goes to 80. I mean, on the first page, as you can see, I've got mine listed for 82, which I'd be happy to offload them at that price, but I don't know if it's going to stick up at this price or go back down. Definitely there is some hype around this card, but it is pretty good right now. I'm always going to hold on to my playset personally, but hopefully I can sell this other playset. And if you invest into this card too, I would think about what price you want to sell them for, especially if you got them for around 50, because this is quite a bit of a price increase. I do think over time this card's pretty safe. So if you don't want to just pull the trigger on selling it and you want to wait and see what happens, I think that's fine. Or if you just want to sell a copy now or a couple copies now and wait to see what it does, that's completely up to you. But very interesting price spike. I knew it was only a matter of time for this card. And it's also because it's Rise of the Duelist. I mean, it's almost impossible to find these if you go to your locals unless people are playing them, but no one's going to be offloading these at your locals or wherever town you live in. And even online, there's usually no more than 45 copies of this available, or listings, not copies. But yeah, I expected this. Let's see, what is the price history? I guess this must have happened recently because it's saying the market price is still 57, which is, the last time I checked, it was around 55 to $57. So it must have happened like relatively like this weekend, I guess, probably. Yeah. A lot of sold this weekend. Let's see real quick. Yeah, it looks like it happened on 8/14. It's over this weekend. But yeah, up to you if you want to sell yours now or not. I'm going to still wait for a little bit and see what happens. But up to you. So next, also out of Rise of the Duelist is Lifeless Leaffish, which is a card I talked about getting at 50 cents and under, just because this card's really good for the fish archetype. Now the problem is fish is not really that great of an archetype yet. Definitely if it gets some support down the road, it has potential. But this card's really good. It's an ultra rare out of Rise of the Duelist, which kind of right away, if there's any amount of hype behind fish, this card's going to get bought out, and it's going to be easily bought out because it's from Rise of the Duelist. There's just not a lot of this out there. And we're up at 270, kind of bottoming out here towards 3 with shipping. So if you bought these when I talked about them, you can go ahead and offload some of these. I think I have a playset of these. I didn't go crazy into these, but they're just kind of easy pickup. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and offload mine while they're around $3. I think that seems fair. I don't think it's gonna go much higher than this anytime soon, but I guess it also depends on what support's announced, coming into the future. But I thought it was interesting to point out this only has a common reprint, I believe, from the Megatens. Next, also from Rise of the Duelist is Rikka, Queen Strena. This card's actually pretty generic. You just need 2 level 4 monsters to make this. And if you don't know, whenever this card is tributed, you can special summon a plant Xyz monster from your extra deck and use this as material, which I think you're going into that level 8 from Blazing Vortex. I can't remember what the name is, but it's basically an Omni Negate. Very interesting combo, and you can't make it work in every deck. I was playing that combo in reptiles, because it's easily attributable in that archetype. But I would get some of these while you can. There's only a common reprint in the Megaton, so you only have one holo, and the holo is from Rise of the Duelist, and there's only 33 listings left. So go pick up a couple for while it's still under, $2 or under. I don't think that this card's going to get like 20 bucks or anything unless it becomes really playable and like a really good archetype. But I definitely think it go towards 5 or 7, with just people speculating that it's going to be good in the future. Along with like Rikkas are kind of just seeing attention right now, anyways. So definitely something to keep your eye on. Next is going to be Chamber Dragon Maid from Eternity Code. So it came in secret rare and then Starlight rare, where the secret rare is going for $25 lowest. And we'll look at the Starlight rare as well, but it does quickly go towards 33. So if you're looking at getting this card, I would go ahead and get it sooner rather than later, because I do think it'll go towards 30. I don't know if it'll go back towards 60 where it was at one point, just because we have a reprint now. I think it was actually maybe even towards 70 or 80 at one point with Dragon Link. But yeah, if you're trying to pick up some of these Dragon Maid cards, I would go ahead and do it now before it's too late. Let's actually look at, see if I probably won't show up under all versions. Okay, so let's do it this way. I also think that this is one of the best Starlight rares to pick up, just because this card is good in Dragon Link, but also people love Chamber Dragon Maid and just Dragon Maid in general. So right now it's 385 lowest, and it does go bottom out here towards 500 on the first page. So again, if you were wanting to get this, now would be the time to do it. I would not wait. Also, you do have some cheaper foreign copies, but I would stay away from that realistically. Okay, so next we're gonna do Rivalry of the Warlords. So this card did get bought out for a collector's rare. I do think it's like $150 or something like that. We're not going to take a look at that, but I did want to highlight the super rare from Hidden Summoners because it's the only other holo printing of this card. Lowest at 425 here, so it has been getting a little bit of buyouts here, but still not super high compared to where it has been. I mean, it's been, above $3 for a while, so it's still not super bought out, but I would pick like a playset of these up just to have, whether you just want to invest into it in hopes of speculating and selling it in the future, or if you want to play with it at some point. I'm going to see where the price goes here. So yeah, it kind of bottoms out towards like 5. And it looks like you can get some copies for under $4. Just think it's a good thing to have because there's not a lot of options for this card unless you want to play like a common. Next is Terraforming from Dual Overload. And this is not really like an investment idea as much as I didn't realize that these were $3 now, quickly going up here to 4. If you're like me and you opened a lot of Dual Overload, you probably have a bunch of these. I think I probably have a couple of play sets just from like sitting in my bulk. You do have a secret rare above this and an ultimate rare, and the ultimate rare is actually like I think 120 plus now, but it's just such a good generic good card. Like if you're playing Tier Elements, like this is a good additional copy essentially of your Primeval card, your field spell for Tier Elements. So I can see why it's going up in price, but traditionally it's been around $1.50 or under. Seems like just recently that it's kind of broken above $2. So keep your eye on this and potentially sell it because there's not really a lot of copies here before it's $4. So I'll probably list mine for like $4, $4.50, something like that. Just some free money. And I'll maybe keep 1 or 2 copies, but there's no reason to hold on to a bunch of copies of this. Okay, next is Machine Duplication. So I don't know what made me think of this, but this card's really, really good. And this ultimate rare version of it is from Rise of the Destiny, which is getting pretty old at this point. But this card could see play at any point, really. Just needs the right archetype. And it's, you get free summons off of it. But right now, lowest for lightly played first edition is 60, which I think is pretty good. Let's look and see what the price history is actually. So typically the first editions float above 100. So it seems like it's pretty low right now compared to where it's been. in the past, or where it's kind of supposed to be. Even the unlim price has been around $75. And essentially the unlim and the first edition are, there's kind of no price difference. So definitely, I wouldn't even look at unlimited, just go right for the first edition. Let's see what near mints are going for. There's probably not a lot of near mints available this card. This card's old at this point. I'd imagine the near mint probably is towards 100. Okay, so first near mint here is $100. Well, I think that's not bad. There's a $40 difference between the lightly played and the near mint, and I bet the near mint's probably not truly near mint. Anyways, it's probably just a better looking light play. So I would just go for the light play for $60. That seems like a steal. But definitely a good ultimate rare to look at if you're looking to buy some higher rarity cards right now, or ultimate rares. Next, I wanted to look at Rikka. I think somebody wanted to look at this. I can't remember if it was Taylor or somebody else, but still seeing some buyouts. Not sure when we're going to see reprints for this archetype, but we have been getting a little bit of support. Right now, teardrop is around 30. This was up higher earlier this year, but that's still way up from where it was when I sold mine. I think when Secret Slayers came out, I pulled one of these and I sold it for like $10 or $8 or something like that. Which I wish I would have held on to it, but I just didn't see anything in the future for this archetype, except for just like generic plant support. So I did hold on to my Rikka petals, which I will probably be selling. And this Rikka petal is also a card I talked about getting because it's definitely one of the better cards in this archetype. Rikka Glamour at 25. Again, that's crazy. This card was around $5. Snowdrop at 3. That's actually lower than I expected it to be. Yep, and pretty much everything else is just dollars. I mean, I know I have these sitting in bulk, so I need to start digging these out, but crazy to see all the value back here. If you have these, I probably would just offload them. Maybe hold on to the teardrops, but definitely get rid of your glamours and petals at this point, unless you're planning on playing it, which I kind of doubt you are. It's just not worth it. Psy-frame gear Gamma. I think this is one that Taylor mentioned, and this is a card I've talked about a lot in the past. So this card has started seeing a little bit of play because it is a level 2. So with sprites, you can play emergency teleport. Use this as a hand trap, but also a target for emergency teleport so that you can use it with your combos if you aren't using it for a hand trap, which is pretty nice. But right now, lowest for lightly played is around 30. Near mint's around 31 to going up to 35 here. I did mention to pick this up when it kind of bounced down towards 21 to 23. So if you did pick it up, you did pretty well. Bottoming out towards 40. I kind of think 40 has been the traditional cap on this card. It never really goes above there. So it's going to be interesting if that ever, kind of breaks out above 40. I think realistically, probably 30 to 35 is a good value for this card. And that's kind of where it always corrects back to. But we'll look at the other versions as well. I did buy a couple of play sets of the gold rare when they were like $3.50. So I'm kind of interested to see where those are at. So they're around $5 now. So still not really profitable to sell for me. So I'm going to wait, kind of would like to see this hit like $7.50 or $8 before I want to unload it. And rares are still like $5 as well. So this card still has quite a bit of value. Not bad for $8, $7-8 on the super rare. Those actually look pretty nice as well. But that's going to be everything for the market watch. I did have like a quick story I wanted to tell. So I guess on Friday when we got the 10% bonus packs for subscribers for I think Yu-Gi-Oh singles and sealed product, I came across the secret rare Millennium Eyes Restrict, and someone had one for sale for $8, and then of course the next lowest listing is 55 or 60. So I just bought it, and I was expecting it to give you that error message that the seller is supposed to be hidden, but some reason that it showed up still in the listing. But no, it actually went through, and I think it was yesterday that I got a message that they canceled the order and said that they double sold it, which is weird because that's definitely a lie. You can't double sell something on TCG Player unless you just list more copies than you have. But I kind of expected that, but I was hoping that that would actually go through because that would have been like such a good find. But I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.